particularly because what we're going to focus on is this a single past activity, or is this an activity that is preceded by something else? Now, the past perfect is or look at actions that happen before other actions in the past. We're going to be using our verb to have in its past form, and we're going to twin it with participles. Now, we have a lot of participles in English, and these participles are what we call that third form of our verbs. Particularly, we are focusing on what we call past participles. That third form, particularly for irregular verbs, helps us to express actions that are in the past. Now, most of our verbs are going to be in their regular form because they're regular verbs. So we're just going to add ed endings, and based on certain changes, we will modify our verb. Of course, there are some verbs that are not regular, and these irregular verbs will have complete transformations. Now, it's good to remember these past participles because, as we did last week, you're going to be using them in different forms. You'll use them for the perfect tenses. You'll also see them in some other voices. We'll talk about passive voice in the future. So it's important that you know how to use these participles when we are using the perfect tenses. Now, as we use the past perfect, our goal is to talk about things that are happening in sequence. One happens before another. The first one had been completed, and then the other one happened. So we're going to be using the verb to have in its past form, and we'll use our action verbs or dynamic verbs in their participle form. They're pretty straightforward in terms of forming. Now, if it's a negative sentence, since had is our helping verb, we're going to be using had plus not to make it negative. Then our active verb. We'll use never sometimes, since we know that the parts of the perfect tenses might be experience based. And if we ask questions, we can use question words, but predominantly we will definitely be using had, then our subject line, and then our verbs. The key thing here is to remember it's had and your verbs. Now, most of our sentences will have a past perfect and a past simple. Why? Because usually we're seeing the past of the past. Now, as we dive in, keep that in mind. You're going to be having had plus the participle form, had not plus the participle form, or your question words and then had your subject lines and your participle form. Now, I like this group because we are a smaller bunch, so we'll be able to tackle a lot more. Let me start with Nemantini. Let's look at some uses of the past perfect and some examples. Number one, Mr. Caballero.
A finished action before a second point in the past. When we arrive, the film has started. First, the film started, then we arrive.
Excellent. Or Jorge Alejandro, continue.
We usually use the past perfect to make it clear which action happened first. Maybe we are already talking about something in the past and we want to mention something else that is farther back in time. This is often used to explain or give a reason for something in the past. I'd eaten dinner so I wasn't hungry. It had snowed at the night, so he bus didn't arrive.
The bus didn't arrive. Good. Deanna, continue after the gentleman.
If it is clear which action happened first, if we use the words before or after, for example, the past perfect is optional. The film started before we arrived. The film had started before we arrived.
All right. So there are sentences that if we can kind of just use other words, then we don't need to complicate the conjugation. So this is optional if you have before and after, which clearly points the time. But if there are no like direction words like before and after, then past perfect is particularly useful. All right. Number two, Andrea.
Something that started in the past and continued up to another action or time in the past. The past perfect tells us how long, just like the present perfect, but this time the action continues up to a point in the past rather than the present. Usually we use for plus time. We can also use the past perfect continuous here, so we most often use the past perfect simple with steep verbs.
Mm, for example,
When he graduated, he had been in London for 6 years. He arrived in London 6 years before he graduated and lived there until he graduated or even longer. On the 20th of July, it worked here for 3 months.
good. All right. And use number three, Luis Angel.
Yeah. To talk about real and or imaginary things in the past. It's the same way that we use the past simple to tell about unreal or imaginary things in the present. We use the past perfect one step back in time to talk about unreal things in the past. This is common in the three conditional and three and after
After
and after
wish.
wish. If I had known you were ill, I would have visited you. She would have passed the exam if she had studied harder. I wish I hadn't. Go to bed so it's late.
Good. Now, we're going to look at this next week, but let's take one step back. We know we're talking about things in the past. So, look at this picture, guys. Help me make some simple sentences in the past about what you see in this picture. All right. You can volunteer, you can open up your microphone and speak, or you can just use the little icon here to raise your hand. Who wants to volunteer? Tell me one thing in the past that you can see in this picture. No volunteers? Hey, let me pick Karina. Karina, tell me one simple past action you're seeing in this picture. Are you there with us, Karina? Is your microphone working? Okay, maybe I'm talking to the ghost of Karina. While she figures out her microphone, Carla. Ah, there we go. Go ahead, Karina.
Uh,
Yeah.
I did sleep
I didn't sleep. Good.
well and
Again, I didn't sleep. Uh-huh.
it go late.
I didn't sleep well. And
It go late.
All right. Let's change. Go to went. Let's add another word there. Went to work late. Okay, good. That's a good one. Carla,
Late.
good. I like it. All right, Carla, want to give us one? If anybody else wants to volunteer, just open your mic or raise your hand. Juarez, are you there with us? Microphone working?
I didn't drink my coffee.
I didn't drink my coffee. Thank you, Paul. Think you couldn't either. Yes, Carla, go ahead.
I mm,
Hmm.
I didn't eat my breakfast.
Good. All right. Lots of things happening in this situation. And of course, they seem like simple past actions. But there might be more. All right. Now let's look at a sequence of these activities. All right. Something is not right. Let's look at it. All right. I'm going to add some more phrases. And let's go with Maria Fernanda. What happened first? Read for us. By the time.
See,
Yeah, go ahead. By the time.
by the time she finally reached the bu- bus stop, the driver had already closed the door and pulled it away.
Good. Monica,
She
the switch.
she realized she had left her umbrella on the hook right as the heavy rain began to fall.
All right, pause. Let's get Monica involved. Monica, next one. Kitchen.
The kitchen smelled like
Char
charcoal,
charcoal. Uh-huh.
charcoal because she had forgotten
Mm-hmm.
about the bread in the toaster while looking for her case.
Good. Let's go back to Paula.
She stared at the spilled milk, reflecting that she had burned the coffee before putting on her coat.
Imagine. And Natalie.
She missed her morning meeting because she had hit the snooze button 10 times instead of waking up.
Good. So a lot of things are happening. And as you can tell, one thing happens before the other. The one that had completed first is what we call the past perfect. And we usually follow it with another simple past action closer to our present. All right, I'll copy these into our chat for those who want to write down some examples. All right. So this is our dilemma. And from here, we're going to do another exercise. But while we do the exercise, I want you to think of something. Think of one thing you had completed or done by the time you turn 18 years old. All right. Everyone, write their answers in the chat. And while you're thinking and writing, let's do some exercises together to practice. Should I be using the past simple or should I be using the present perfect? Let me see if I can do a poll. No, let me just leave it in the chat. All right, guys, that's your question. Think about it. And while we practice, write your answers in the chat. Now, when it comes to structure, don't forget, you need your had and you need your verbs in their participle form, right? Particularly be cognizant of your ed endings and how they change and your irregular past participles, okay? Let me go back to the top of the list and let's go back to you, Mr. Caballero. Number one, should I use the past simple? Should I use the past perfect?
We had already eaten when John check
All right. Here we have the verb
um,
to come.
mm,
What's the past tense of the verb?
but
It's irregular.
it didn't come. I didn't come.
He didn't. You don't need to go negative. Came. All right.
Came.
All right. This one is a simple past because here you already have your past perfect. This happened first and then this happened. All right. Full sentence. We had already eaten when John came home. Repeat.
Okay. We have already eaten when John come
Came home.
came home.
Mhm. All right. Alejandro, number two.
Yep. Last year, one passed all his exams.
Exactly. Simple, clear, fixed, completed. Good. Diana, number three.
When I get into the airport, I discovered I had forgotten my passport.
Just be careful with get. Get is irregular like came. When I got to the airport, I discovered I had forgotten my passport. Repeat. Again, Diana, when I got.
Perdón. When I got to the airport, I discovered I had forgotten my passport.
Excellent. All right. Andy, number four.
Um, I went to the library, then I bought some milk and went home.
Exactly. Don't know why you're buying milk close to the library. I hope you didn't spill it. Number five, Luis.
Yeah. I opened my handbag to find that I forgot my credit card.
All right. Now this one is a little bit tricky. Your clue here is this action was passed before something happened. I had forgotten my credit card. All right. Again, I opened my handbag.
I opened my handbag to find that I had forgotten my credit card.
Good. So you had forgotten your credit card at home, and then afterwards you looked in your bag. Oh no, it's not there. All right, let's continue with Karina, number 6.
Sí, when he had arrived at the station, the train had already left.
All right, now here is a little bit of a clue. Which one happens first? Was it the arrive or was it the train leaving? The train had left. And next, we arrived. This is going to be the simple past action. All right? Remember your timeline. When it comes to the past perfect, you have what we call a timeline of events. One finished action happened before a second action. All right? So in this case, when we arrived at the station, the train had already left. Repeat.
When we arrived at the station, the train had already left.
Good. All right. Carla, number 7.
We got home to find that someone broke into the house.
All right. Which one happened first? Getting home or the breaking?
Getting home.
No, that's the last action. Before you got home, they had broken into the house. All right? Now let me draw a timeline and show it to you. Imagine you have two actions. All right? When it comes to the past perfect, this one is going to have had plus your participle. So they had broken into the house before we arrived. The second is going to have the past simple, right? So in this example, it is we got home to find that someone had broken into the house. Basically, they broke in before you got home. Repeat, we got home.
We got home to find that someone had broken into the house.
All right. Maria Fernanda, number 8.
Sí.
Mhm.
mm, I opened the fridge to find that someone had eaten
Mhm.
all my chocolate.
I would be so mad if someone had eaten all my chocolate. Paula, number 9.
I had known my husband for 3 years when we got married. Married.
Exactly. This happened first, then this happened. All right, Natalie, number 10.
Jules has very passed to see that John cleaned the kitchen.
All right. John had cleaned the kitchen, and afterwards Julie saw it, and she was very pleased. All right. So the first action is John had cleaned. Let's do that again. Julie was very pleased.
Julie was very pleased to see that John had cleaned the kitchen.
Good. All right. Guys, start writing. In the chat, tell me one thing you had already done by the time you turned 18. My first question is, everyone here is 18 or older? Natalie, how old are you?
¿Cómo, perdón?
How old are you? How young are you? What's your age?
Um, I I I go on vacations.
No, no, no. How old
Oh,
are you? Are you 18? Are you 19? Are you 20? Are you 21, 22? How old are you?
ah, ya, ya, perdón. Este, 20, 20.
20? Okay. Nematini, how old are you?
20.
You're 20 as well, Jorge?
I'm 21, teacher.
All right. Deanna, what about you?
19.
Okay. Andy,
I'm 21.
good. Luis,
I'm 19 years
19.
old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Karina,
21.
you're 21. Carla,
22.
good. Fer,
19.
awesome. Pau,
20.
and you, Nats. Let's see if Natalie remember her age. You're 20, Natalie?
Sí, yes.
Good. All right. So in the chat, guys, we're going to do some more practice, but write in the chat one thing you had already done by the time you turned 18. For example, I had traveled overseas by the time I turned 18. Right? While you write in the chat, let's continue with the practice. All right, let's go to number 11. Back to you, Mr. Caballero. Number 11.
It didn't rain.
All
No,
right, so you have to decide which one was first. Is it this one, no rain, or is this one, grass dead? I think this one came first. It had not rained.
it had
Practice?
okay. It had not rained all summer, so the grass was completely dead.
Exactly. No rain, grass doesn't grow, right? And go ahead, um, Namatini, write your example in the chat, something you had already done by the time you turned 18. All right, number 12, let's go back to you, Jorge.
Mm, when he arrived at the party, Julie had
Exactly.
just left.
Excellent. All right, Diana, back to you, 13. Go ahead, Jorge, write your example in the chat.
After arriving home, I realized I didn't buy any milk.
Okay. Or I realized I had not bought. Didn't is good because sometimes these things are happening at the same time. But I want you to practice your use of dun dun dun, dun, your past perfect. I had not bought any milk. Repeat. After arriving home.
After arriving home, I realized I had not bought any milk.
Good. Or hadn't bought if you want to use the contracted form. All right. You too, Deanna, write an example of one thing you had done by the time you turned 18. Let's continue number 14. Andy.
The laundry was wet. It had rained while it was out.
Exactly. Good. Right. Drop your example as well. Number 15, Luis.
William felt it where is it? Last night because he had eat eaten too many cakes.
All right. Be careful. Eat is irregular. It's eat, ate, eaten. He had eaten too many cakes. Greedy guy. Again, William felt ill.
Yeah. William felt ill last night because he had eaten too many cakes.
Excellent. All right, drop your example as well. Let's go with Karina, 16.
Keiko met no.
Yeah,
Keiko had met
no,
with last September.
this one is just one event, one completed action. He was in a place, and Kiko met William last September. One more time.
uh, Keiko met William last September.
Good. All right, drop your example there in the chat as well. Carla, your turn. Number 17.
First, I tidied the flat, then I to sit down and had a cup of tea.
All
Coffee.
right,
Okay.
good. So one action, next action, but they're happening together. So first I tidied the flat, then I sat down. Repeat, sat down.
Sat down.
All right, 18, Marifer.
John played the piano when he had no when
Mhm.
he was a child, but he doesn't play now.
All right, so one action is in the past of the past. All right, so be careful. So he played the piano, that was an old habit, now he does at 19. Wow. Mm-hmm.
When I opened the curtains, the sun was shining and the ground was white.
Mm-hmm.
It mm, had snow during
Exact.
the night.
All night long. Snowy, snowy, snowy. Come on, guys, drop your examples in the chat. Last one, Natalie, number 20.
When Julie got home for her holiday, the flat was a mess. John had a party.
Yes, he did. All his friends. But be careful. This one was completed and it is connected to the mess. John had a party. Repeat.
When Julie got home for her holiday, the flat was a mess. John had a party.
Good. All right, let's see your examples. All right, Natalie says, I had, okay, so don't forget your second had. I had a party. Right? You need your verb to have in its past form, and you need your action verb in its participle form. That's practice with me. I had a party,
I had a party,
but when I turned 20, I had a dinner.
but when I turned 20, I had a dinner.
Good. All right. Um, I had already traveled to another country when I turned 20. Good. Luis, I had already tried alcohol when I turned 18. Normal, maybe not so good, but very normal. All right. Uh, I had traveled to Tequila when I turned 19. Okay, who else? Diana, I had gone to a camp in New York when I was 18 years old. Right? You can use the exact phrasing as well. By the time I turned 18. That's also very good. Who's next? Who are we missing? I think we're missing about one, two, three, five other people. Who's writing? Who's next? Let me bring over the screen over here. All right, I see. So Natalie, yes. All right. Okay, be careful, Carla. I had finished. All right. I had finished. Okay, repeat, Carla. I had finished high school.
I had finished high school.
Okay, by the time you turned 18. I had already learned to drive when I turned 20. Good one, Andy. All right, who's left? Natalie's done. All right, who's next? Diana again. I had gone to a camp in New York. All right, if you're going to use 18, just switch the ending. By the time I turned 18. All right, when I turned 18 is also good. No worries. All right, who's missing? All right, so we have Natalie. Where's Paula? Did Paula do one? I don't see your example, Paula. Where are you? Okay, Karina says, I had spent the entire December holidays with my grandparents, but we weren't on our last vacation together. Good. Not answering the question, but nice. I had got the Chiapas. Okay, be careful, Pau. I had, let's change got to visited. All right. Use a verb that's clear. I had visited Chiapas. You don't need the. All right. I had visited Chiapas last year before, let's say, Christmas. All right. What you want to identify with the past perfect is something that happened before another thing in the past. Okay. So that's Pau. Where's Marifer?
Profe, perdón, no sé si soy la única, pero no veo la pantalla, o sea, se ve todo negro.
Yeah, because I have a
Ah,
screen with the chat. You should be writing in the chat an example, right? But since you didn't write, let me ask you a question, Marifer. Make it even more complex.
ok, gracias.
All right. Let me give you an example. Let's see if you can answer this one live. All right. The question was, what is one thing you had done by the time you turned 18? And I'm going to make it a little bit simpler. Marifer, had you completed pre-university? Did you complete prepa by the time you turned 18?
Sí.
Yes, Marifer, you? Was that a yes, no?
Yes.
Okay, all right, so practice with me. I had completed pre-university by the time I turned 18. Read for me.
I had completed pre-university by the time I turned 18.
Excellent. All right. I think everyone else got a chance to write. Good job, guys. Remember the goal. I'll add this one for you in the chat, mighty Fed. The goal, remember, let's see. Okay, I had visited Chiapas last year before Christmas. Exactly, pal. Good job. All right. The goal, guys, is for you to jump in if you haven't done so and start working in this new unit. We're focusing on verbal phrases, and the first topic is for you to work on your past perfect. And I also looked at past participle. Next week, we're going to look at third conditional and we're going to work on adverbial phrases in the other session some more. If you notice this class, we practice with by the time and before. We saw when and while, but we'll look at it some more in 2 classes from now. If you've already done your Forum 1, your grade is there. Go in and check your grade and interact if you haven't interacted with your classmates in the forum. If you have not completed Forum 1, go ahead and complete Forum 1 and start working on the new exercises and self-evaluation. Next Saturday, I'll see you same time, same place. Enjoy your Saturday. Bye-bye for now.